Welcome. I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and we have a lot to talk about today because we had two big things just come out. We had the Clan versus Clan tournament, the beta version of that came out today, and we also have the fusion for Brogni coming out, Underpriest Brogni. These are two major events for us. Every time there's a fusion, that's a big thing for the community, and every time we get some new content, which is Clan versus Clan sort of is, that's a big thing as well. So I want to talk about both of those today without taking too much time to go into it. Because of that, I'm not going to go over the champions in this video. I'm going to do that in the game on video. I'll have linked down below. So if you want to see my thoughts on the new champions, you can definitely go there. What I will say is they're very good. These are all champions worth trying to get, whether it's the epics, whether it's the legendary, they're definitely worth going for. And Brogni is fantastic. He's 100% somebody I encourage you guys to get if you can. That said, I know this is not going to be available for everybody. And a big part of that is the structure of this. This is something they're trying. So this is the first time it's really being tried out in Raid. But I'm pretty sure, I know this is not something I'm excited about, and I know a lot of the community isn't either, and for good reason. It's going to be a Fragment Summons event. So there's some positives to this, right? You don't have to get, 4 rares and fuse them into an epic, so there's a little bit less, maneuvering you're going to have to do to get these champions. But you still have to get them, you still have to level them up, you still have to send them, and then you have to use them to fuse Brogni. The other problem with this fragment event is that there's not enough fragments available to get a copy of these champions. Usually when you do these events, there's a epic copy available as well as another copy that you can fuse from the rare champions. That gives us a lot more flexibility where you can target, okay, I only have the resources to get this one, I'm going to get this one champion. Or if you're like me and you have plenty of resources, I like to get the bonus epics to have a copy of them as well. Sometimes they turn out to be better than the legendary. Well, this fusion, that's not going to be the case. The legendary is definitely the prize. 100% the champion you want to get, but you're not going to be able to get the epics with it. And so what I would say is, regardless of what level you are at, if you can compete and complete any of these fragment events, do so. Do so. Try to get at least a couple of these epics. If not, go for Brogni. He's going to be worth it, but you got to weigh your own account. How much are resources worth to you? How much have you saved up to make this something that you can do? If you can't, I totally get it. It's just sadly not going to be a practical thing for everybody out there. But let's look at the setup of how this is done and kind of go through it that way. It is a Fragment Summons event. You can see we have all 4 of these epic champions available to summon. And then once you get them all leveled and ascended, you can then fuse Brogni with them. So that's kind of how it works. And Brogni is amazing. Brogni is amazing. Definitely somebody you want if you can get him. The hard part with the Fragment Fusion is that you can't just target 1 or 2 spots to get him. You really have to do all the events. And what do I mean by that? As we look at this, you can see that you need to do the Summons Rust if you want Schemos or you want Mordecai. You have to do, everybody has to do the training event in order to get all the champions. Different champions have different requirements, but there's only 125 maximum shards available for this. And that's only if you finish in the top 1 or 2 to get the bonus shards in the different events. What does that mean? It means that, quite frankly, it's going to be impossible to get just, it's going to be impossible to get a bonus, any extra champions, obviously, but it's going to be really hard to be able to complete this because you have to compete in pretty much every single tournament. There might be 1 or 2 that you can skip, but it's going to be very hard. Now, I am going to point this out for the free-to-play players out there. The champions that you're probably going to be able to get is Giscard and Fenshi. Now, like I said, I'm not going to talk about the champions so much, but what I will point out is that the Champion Chase event is for Schemos and Mordecai. The Summons Rush is for Schemos and Mordecai. That means that those are the 2 that are probably going to be the hardest for you to get. So if those aren't practical, I still encourage you to get Giscard. I still encourage you to get Fenshi. All the champions in this are solid champions worth getting. Are they worth wailing out for? I would probably say no, just offhand. If it were me and I had to make a choice, I would try to compete, but recognize that I might be better off just saving my resources, using them for whatever else I might have on my account. And if I'm not going for Brogni, probably not going for any of them. And I hate saying that because I think you should always try to get the champions if you can. You should always try to get the champions if you can. But in this case, I don't think it's very practical for a lot of people. So, again, if you have the opportunity to get Brogni, do it. 100%. 100% is going to be worth it for your account. But if you can't, this might be one to skip because the requirements and the difficulty of getting it, it's going to be higher than I think people realize. Now, that said, like if you can complete all these events, it shouldn't be an issue, right? Go for it. I think that's definitely something you want to do. These are going to be good champions. You're not going to be disappointed with any of these champions. I think they're all going to be beneficial to your account. I have to say that I personally am not very happy with doing the Fragment Fusion version. I like getting a bonus epic, and we're not able to do that in this case because they aren't available as bonus epics. Even though, normally you have to get all those different rares and level them up too, I actually prefer that method. It helps it, especially if you're a lower level player, to actually target one or two champions that you want to get. That's easier than what this is. So this is definitely something for higher level accounts. It's going to be very difficult as a lower level player. That said, it's not like it's impossible. If you're a free-to-play player, you can definitely do this. That's definitely something you can do, but you need to really, utilize your resources to the maximum ability that you can. And, pay attention to that schedule so that you're using everybody at the right spot in the right timing of everything. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is clan versus clan. Now, there's been a lot of misinformation about this. So I'm going to share with you what I know, and that's not everything, but I do have some information that should hopefully clear this up for you guys. We were talking about this a lot on stream, and there were a lot of questions about this. So first off, this is a beta. It's not the alpha, it's a beta. So that means that, no, it's not set up for everybody right now. This is only involving the top 1,700 clans at the moment. Eventually, yes, it will involve everybody. The other thing is, I know there's some people that are really bitter. They're upset that they're not having the opportunity to get the rewards, that they're not in one of those clans, and it feels very exclusive and exclusionary. Well, let me tell you guys something. There's, I think, less than 100 clans. There's like 60 clans in the top 5 tiers. It's not a lot. Maybe 75 or something like that. It's not a lot. I'm in tier 1. I have a top 300 clan. I am in tier 1 right now. And you can see, let me move myself over. You can see the rewards that we're getting, okay? There's some energy. There's some pots. There's 1, 2, 3 blue shards, 1 epic book. And that's friggin' it. There's not a lot there. So, yeah, you're not missing out, guys. Don't feel bad about that. The only people that really have really nice rewards are these top 5 and 6 tiers, which literally the top tier has 18 clans in it right now. The second one has 16. Not a ton. These definitely have some rewards worth getting. Most notably, some good pieces of gear, and that's it. Those are really the rewards, because if you look, there's 1 Lego book, 1 epic book for the top tier, and a couple of void shards. That's pretty much it. The second one has a couple of void shards, less, and an epic book. Like, the rewards are not equivalent to the amount of work you need to put in. And let me also point this out. My clan, we just completed this, right? Our objective, I think, we had to get I think the top to get all of it is 700,000 points, right? We have 900,000 after a day. 900,000 after a day, guys. It's a lot of points that you need. When you look at that and you compare it to the top tier where you need 5.4 million points, that's ridiculous. The amount of resources you have to dump in to even be able to get these top rewards is ridiculous. This is a whale war. There is no confusion about this. This is what we all thought it was going to be. And guess what? That's exactly what it is. I mean, my clan could maybe get to here. All the good rewards are down here. My clan couldn't do it. And I'm not going to ask anybody to do that. I'm not going to ask the people in my clan to spend their money, not the resources, but to spend their money to be able to get to the top milestone on these things. And so that's what this is. Be aware of that. This is a clan war. This is a pay-to-win part of the game. Am I happy about that? Absolutely not. Is it going to change? I have no doubts it is not going to change. This is going to be the way it is. Now, there's going to be some tweaks to this. I mean, I've sent my feedback in. The rewards 100% need to be better. This is just not, if you're going to spend this much energy resources, money to be able to get to this type of milestone, I mean, you need better rewards than what they're offering us here. And these rewards need to go all the way down. Like, even on tier 2, you still need 1.8 million. My clan is halfway there. It's going to take a lot of resources to be able to get to that. We need the rewards to reflect that. And I don't see that being the case right now. There's another part to this where it is, not the leaderboard, that's not what I'm looking at, the verses. So you can see right here, you can see this tug of war between the clans, right? Where the more points we put in, the more we win by, the better the rewards we get. We're talking about these rings, these accessories, these amulets that are available. Well, first off, I don't need 5-star jewelry. I don't need it. I have 6-star jewelry on my stuff. If I can't get it, why am I competing this hard for it? Also, the fact that I have to win by such a large margin just to get the amulets is ridiculous. What that means is everybody's going to have some rings, and that's going to be about it. We're not going to be able to wail out. We're not going to be able to have that advantage to be able to get all the accessories. It's a really weird and I think poorly thought out system with that. Where everybody's just going to have rings, nobody's going to have amulets. There are no banners available. So they really need to spend some time and figure that part out. The other part is the fact that these are only available if you win is a real big issue. This should be something that everybody should be able to get. And then the better you do, the more of it you get, or the better quality you get. But these should not be exclusive to winning. The funny part to me, I think, is that this is really going to matter because these are amazing arena pieces that are going to do some, I think, not great stuff for arena. What's really interesting to me is that it's going to be the top clans are the ones that are competing in like Plat Arena. They're really going to want this stuff. They're really going to wail out for it. They're going to have whale wars on it. The difference is going to be minimal. Like, if my clan wants it, your clan wants it, well, we're going to keep spending the resources. How am I supposed to win by like a 70 to 30% margin? How's that supposed to happen? I don't know. Because unless you do, you can't get the amulet. So you're really not getting all the gear anyway. It's a kooky thing to me. Doesn't make a lot of sense, guys. So I'm really hopeful that they change that in some way or another. But yeah, there's a lot of worry about this kind of, event going on. So the way I broke it down with my clan, and we kind of had a discussion about it. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. You need to talk to everybody. You need to get everybody on the same page with this. And we decided, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to be smart. We're going to utilize our resources the best ways we can when we need to. So that means that you're going to get more rewards for fighting the Faction War bosses. And actually completing Faction War 21 and doing your runs on that are going to give you a lot of extra points. So that's an easy way to do it. We need to do our clan boss runs when the event starts. So that's an easy thing to do. We need to do 3v3, arena. It's not fun. I hate it. It's boring. But you get a lot of points for that. So we just need to make sure that when we're doing our stuff, we do it at those times. I also mentioned, and I also made it clear that if you want to spend your resources, you want to spend your gems, you want to spend money on it, go ahead. Totally fine. If you make anybody feel bad about it, out. Because that's not acceptable either. I'm not going to guilt someone into spending money. Now, every clan's going to be different. And like I said, you need to discuss this with your people so that you're all on the same page. But I will not let this turn my clan into a have to spend money to stay in. Now, there are clans that are going to be like that. A lot of those top clans, you kind of have to spend money to stay at that level. And that's fine. If that's something everybody agrees on, I think that's fine. But I'm not going to make my clan like that. I'm not going to play the game that way because I don't want to play the game that way. It's not fun to me to do that. I don't want people worrying about their finances when they're trying to play a game and we're trying to get together. And I think that part of this is bad, quite frankly. But I do think it's reasonable to expect everybody to utilize the resources in a smart way. Hey, the tournament doesn't start till 2 hours after reset. Let's wait 2 hours before we hit the clan boss. I think that's reasonable. Hey, you know what? Let's make sure that we're all doing faction war. We're all doing the 3v3 arena while this event is going on. I think that's reasonable. There are some reasonable things you can do to coordinate your team and to have a little bit of a push towards some stuff. but I'm pretty content and pretty happy with letting our results lie where they are, just utilizing our resources as we typically do. I'm not going to be pushing my clan mates to be utilizing all their resources to finish high in this. I'm not going to be pushing myself to do that either. There's only so much time in the day, and if this is going to be a more regular occurrence, the last thing I want to do is to put that on everybody else. So, you need to talk to your clan. You need to figure out what's good for you guys. But I think the biggest strength of this game is the community. And there is nothing about this that is going to make me risk my community and the positivity that I have within the clan to win a couple extra artifacts. Those are my thoughts. That's how I've been approaching it. And I really recommend you guys take the time, talk with your clan, come up with a game plan about this. Now, this is going to open up to everybody. And yes, the tiers right now are really squished. Most everybody is in the bottom tier of this. That's fine. It's going to expand. This is just their beta test. They're getting information. They're getting feedback, seeing how it works, seeing the engagement, seeing what they need to do to make things work a little better or smoother. And there's some stuff they're going to need to tweak with the point system. As I go in here, I can show you guys. These are the point systems. So you can see you get double points for certain things. You can see your team's relative placement versus the other team. And then you can see there's those milestone rewards, and you can expand each of these things to see how many points you get. You get this is the champion objective. So you get points for getting champions, for getting them for the first time. You get points for upgrading them. You get points for ranking them. You get points for ascending them, for booking their skills. You get points for upgrading your Great Hall. You get points for a lot of stuff in this, right? I think one of my clanmates saved up their gold, what do you call it? The awards you get from doing arena, the medals, so that they could upgrade their Great Hall. And we got some extra points for that. That's all great. I think these are smart things to do. You can get points for doing the campaign. You can get points for doing the potion keep. And some of these you get double points for, but it all adds up. So you get double points for the potion keep, but you can see there's a limit there. So you're going to get double points until your total points gets to 400. So if I do the top stage in one of the potions, I'm going to get 20 points plus an additional 20. So I'm going to get 40 points every single time. After 10 runs, I'll have 400 points, and I will no longer get the double point bonus on that. I think that's all fine. I think a lot of that is actually fine. Most of these requirements and things aren't anything crazy, but you can see you get a big bonus for doing... Oh, I should move myself over. You get a big bonus for doing the top level of that. And you get, so there's different things that you can get bonuses for, and I think that's great, right? Clan boss objectives, you get a big bonus for doing the top chest, right? As many chests as you can. It doesn't matter the difficulty, just the chest level, right? You can get bonuses for doing the different artifacts, upgrading them, and, taking them to different levels. All of that's really good, and I think that's fine. You get bonuses for doing glyphs, for crying out loud. There's a lot of stuff that you can do here to get yourself bonus, but these are all things that we do in the game anyway. You get 1 point for using gems. Look, if you want to waste 10,000 gems to get 10,000 points to do this tournament, fantastic, great. I will instead, craft 20 legendary artifacts in the forge, which I have time to do anyway. I'm doing that all the time as it is. So there's a lot of ways you can go about getting the points. I don't actually see any big issues with that. The biggest issue is, of course, making sure that we're not guilting our clanmates into spending actual money on this game. I think that we can have agreements, we can have requirements, just like we do for Clan Boss for participation and for utilizing the resources that we do have. But I don't think we need to guilt anybody into spending extra resources on this part of the game. And I know that's probably not a popular opinion with Plarium, but that's just the truth of this. This is a whale war. This is not a clan war. It's going to come down to how much you're willing to spend if you really want to compete at the top. And if that is something you want to do, I think that's fine as long as your clanmates are okay with that. And I think if that's something you want to do, maybe you can, I guarantee you can find a clan that is down for that. So I think that this will balance itself out as it goes along, but we need better rewards to make this worth it. And in the meantime, if you're not in this, that's okay. You're going to be fine. You're not missing out on anything right now. Eventually, it'll come around and we'll all be a part of it. And my guess is eventually they're going to balance this out a little bit better and hopefully improve the rewards to make it more worth it for us to compete in this. But as it stands right now, I can't say that I'm a big fan. Anyway, that's the information we have for you guys today. It's kind of a lot of stuff, but I wanted to go over that because there's some misinformation out there, and I want to make sure all that's clear for you guys that follow me. So that's all we have. Like I said, if you want to see my take on those champions, the Fusion champions, click that Game On link down below. And till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.